Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Let's start this video off with a recent update from our 2023 Arnold Classic champion, Samson Dauda. And I'm pretty sure Samson is at least 330 pounds right now, possibly a little bit more than that. The chest, the arms, the quads of Samson Dauda look incredible in this update. And this is definitely the most impressive update I've seen of Samson since the Arnold Classic. Now, as of right now, I don't see Samson placing lower than 4th place at the Mr. Olympia. Unless Brandon Curry and Big Ramy bring their all-time best, I don't see Samson outside of that top 4. If you guys have Samson Dauda winning this year's Mr. Olympia, I honestly wouldn't even be mad at you. Now, that's not my personal prediction, but as I've said numerous times, I believe we have about 4 guys that can realistically win the Mr. Olympia, and Samson Dauda is one of those guys. Now, speaking of guys that can win the Mr. Olympia, Derek Lunsford recently posted up some updates. Now, the same thing that I said in the video with him and Samson, I noticed again in the video on the left. Derek is in the off season, but his legs are huge and shredded at the same time. And Derek having this much separation in the legs in the off season really makes me hopeful that he isn't going to lose too much size in the legs once he dies down for the Mr. Olympia. As we know from last year, the 2 areas that Derek needed to bring up, front thighs and chest, and that was of course said by Big Steve. But I'm excited to see Samson and Derek at this year's Olympia. It's definitely going to be a battle. And in the next update of the day, we have a recent update from Hunter Labrada. He's actually getting posing tips from his dad, Lee Labrada, who is possibly the greatest poser of all time, and also Fuad Abiyad, which I found interesting. But Fuad was actually a pretty good poser. If you guys have never seen his Arnold Classic routine from 2017, you should definitely go check it out. But Hunter is prepping for the Tampa Pro, which he is currently the favorite to win. I heard that Justin Shire is also doing this show, and then Hunter will go into Texas. On paper, Hunter is actually the favorite to beat Andrew Jack, but the fans don't agree with that. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. I'm pretty sure everyone has Andrew winning Texas. Now let's switch over to Hassan Mostafa, who recently posted up an update ahead of this weekend's Orlando Pro. Hassan is definitely in better condition than he was going into Toronto. And actually, it looks like Hassan's back is in better condition, but the glutes and the hamstrings look about the same. Now, he's never going to be in the condition of a guy like Ian Valliere or James Hollingshead, but this is pretty good conditioning from Hassan Mostafa. Not as conditioned as he was with AJ Sims, but still pretty good. Now, this is the competitors list for this weekend's Orlando Pro, and if you guys ask me, it's Hassan's show to lose. Now, a couple names do jump out at me. Phil Klahar, Jason Lowe, Muhammad Al-Nassour. He won the Monster Zim Pro last year. He beat Sibu Sisu and also So Chung Lee. So I think it's going to be a pretty good show, but as I said, it's going to be Hassan's show to lose. And let's switch over to Tonio Burton, who recently posted up an update. And I know I say in almost every update, I'm very excited to see this guy compete, but I'm really looking forward to seeing Tonio at this year's Olympia. If he can improve on the package he brought from the New York Pro, the guys around that top 10 area, they should be worried. And of course, that's just my opinion. Now, Tonio did lose a little bit of stock, placing 2nd to Ross Flanagan, but I'm hopeful at this year's Olympia, Tonio is really going to bring it. Trust me, guys, this guy has a lot of potential. Now, let's switch over to Rafa Brandão, who recently posted up an update. I'm not 100% sure if this is recent, but I'm pretty sure that it is. And Rafa announced a few weeks ago that he's going to pull out of this year's Olympia and just focus on making improvements with his new coach, Neil Hill. And I think that's a great idea. I honestly think a lot of bodybuilders should take a little bit of time off and come back when they're more competitive. No offense, of course. And Rafa was 10th place at last year's Olympia. So with him pulling out of this year's Olympia, a spot just opened up in that top 10. And I wonder who will capture that. Will it be Michael Krizo, Ian Valliere? Can a guy like Tonio Burton sneak all the way up into that top 10? I think Krizo's probably going to be in the top 10, though. Now, let's switch over to Brent's Chen Kang, who recently posted up an update. And I think this guy's going to compete soon. Now, before we get into this update, this guy has the perfect angle with the tripod and also has the best lighting I've ever seen in my life. But I'm not going to get too excited about these updates because if you guys don't remember, I actually predicted this guy to place 4th at last year's Classic Physique Olympia, and I believe he ended up right outside of the top 10. But Branch really has to bring it to the stage. He looks great on Instagram. Now let's go ahead and wrap up today's video here with the archive of the day. You guys let me know in the comment section below, who is this legendary bodybuilder? And as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.